B.Scott, 5 reasons. Sell us on Derrick Henry. Man, those workout videos. Some of the most impressive workout videos.
I was going to say, damn, those workout videos might speak for themselves. Like,
Yeah.
how do you just not look at this
Pretty ridiculous.
jumbo, doggone Avenger-looking type dude and not think, man, like, I want that. I want that on my football team. But, yeah, I got 5 reasons. Man, White.
Lay them out. Last week it was Saquon. This week it's Derrick Henry. Next week, free agency will be upon us, and they might have signed one of these guys.
Whew.
5 reasons, starting with number 1.
Come on, let's go.
Número 1.
It's the bargain, man. I think it's the best bargain, the best bang for the buck on the high end of running backs that are available. Look, Saquon Barkley, I think, is the best. You know, I think Josh Jacobs is probably right there with him in that conversation. Derrick Henry's behind. I think he's the clear number 3. But I think the market is going to reflect that. The money is going to reflect that. If Saquon is going to get this, and I think we all feel like Saquon's going to get underpaid in some way. I think it's because we like Saquon.
Oh, he will. I think he will.
And we don't devalue the running backs the way most people do.
Yeah.
But if you don't think Saquon's going to get a bunch of money, what do you think Derrick Henry's going to go for it? And I don't know the exact number. I'm not going to pretend to be able to predict the figure. But I do feel comfortable saying it's going to be less than Saquon Barkley. It's going to be less than Josh Jacobs. And for that number, for that clip, the difference in what you would get from those guys, I think is negligible compared to the money. So it's the bargain is the best bang for the buck for me.
I think you can almost say that about any running back at this point.
And it's going to be 1 year.
Yeah, but
Could be 1 year.
it could be,
Yeah.
and you know, maybe 2, but you're betting on. If you do the 2, you're betting on the 1.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing it for the 1. So to me, it's the best bang for the buck.
Número 2.
Bailed out a bad offensive line. Now, this is a little similar to the Saquon Barkley argument, but Derrick Henry was productive last year. I know it did not look the same. He is not as explosive.
That O-line sucks.
But that was
him and
you
Saquon
imagine.
won it 2 worst. Like, depending on what list you pick, it was Giants and Titans near the top.
And so how do you localize that? How does that relate to the Texans? Well, we expect and anticipate, want, hope, whatever you want to call it, that the Texans' offensive line is going to be better next year or this coming year than it was this past year. If for no other reason that the health situation should be better, like they had an unprecedented health situation. But even if it's still not that great, all right, even if our optimism is not served at all and it's just mediocre, I think that Derrick Henry has proven, and he's still got a little bit left in the tank. I feel like that he has proven that he can make the most out of a bad offensive line, even to the point to where I'd say last year, in a lot of ways, he bailed out a bad offensive line.
Número 3.
Time is running out, okay? I think this is the debate on Derrick Henry. Is he washed? Is he not? I sit somewhere in between of, hey, not washed yet.
Yeah.
Not washed yet. That's
Not
why,
washed yet.
That's why I think this is important.
It's a pretty weak pitch.
No.
I don't know how you're going to get 4 and 5 out of this.
Listen to me pretty good, though. He's not washed yet, but he's going to be. I think he's got about another year or two.
Sign me up.
No, I'm saying if you do the short-term deal, you've only got another year to look.
Look, I'm with you. You know that.
Derrick Henry,
He's on his way down, I feel.
On his next contract is going to be somebody who I'm like, yo, stay away from.
Yeah.
But I saw enough from him last year to say, hey, this guy is not washed. And this is going to be supported by one of my later points,
We
too.
ain't washed yet.
Not
Soul cycle.
take advantage of the time. The time is running out.
It's soaking right now.
Look, think about it. Imagine about look at it like this. However many years from now, Derrick Henry goes to another team and is still good, and you think, man, Derrick Henry was available, and he only had a year or 2 left, and we didn't pounce on that in a year when we had money. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to do revisionist history, look back and have some regret, like, man, I thought he was what? No, people are saying he's washed. I'm saying he's not washed yet. Sign my dude.
Can't wait to hear
Número
4.
4.
He's a weather weapon, man. He is a weather weapon, weatherproof.
weapon.
Yeah, man, a weather weapon. I feel like if you take that C.J. Stroud-centric defense, and this is another thing that I like about it, kind of similar to Saquon. Both of those dudes.
C.J. Stroud-centered offense.
Yeah,
okay.
my bad. C.J. Stroud-centered offense, but like similar to Saquon with Henry, they carried an offense where they came from. This is going to be C.J. Stroud's offense. You're signing these guys, either one of them, but in this case, Derrick Henry, to be a complementary piece. But you take that CJ-centric offense into a December game,
like New
a
York,
weather game, the Jets, Baltimore later. If you're in the situation that the Miami Dolphins were in last year when they had to play in the coldest game that Kansas City has ever had over there at Arrowhead, and you're like, man, we've been throwing the ball over at NRG the whole time, but nah, you got this secret weapon. You got this weather weapon, this weatherproof Derrick Henry, who, by the way, back to my earlier point,
giving it to him 30 times, minus 3 degrees.
Yeah, and you do that later on in the season, but that's the point in not being washed yet. You know what I mean? Weatherproof dude. I like it. Sign my man.
Number 5.
Feel like you're playing defense, and this is also supported by not washed yet point.
Oh, you're scared of Baltimore.
You're playing defense. Look, man, I don't want to overlook this. To me, you cannot want Derrick Henry all you want and say whatever you want, but when I think about him on Kansas City, when I think about him on Buffalo, when I think about him on Baltimore, Miami, Cincinnati, the Browns, the Chargers, any of the teams that are right there with you or right there ahead of you or maybe even chasing your heels a little bit in the Chargers case, having Justin Herbert and then just bringing in Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. Look, say what you want about Derrick Henry. You cannot tell me that him added to any of those teams that's an AFC contender doesn't make you look twice, doesn't make you check up a little bit, especially later on in the year when it really matters.
I think it was Derrick Henry I was talking about the other day. He's the guy that if you don't sign him, you're like, oh, whatever. Then you see him sign with Baltimore, you're like,
damn.
Crap.
At noon, we're going to play Fear Factor. I have a list of things that would strike fear in my localized lenses that have nothing to do with the Texans, and what you just spoke of may come up. So the 5 reasons, reset them one more time. The 5 reasons Derrick Henry could make sense. Hashtag not washed yet.
Not washed yet, baby. Best bargain, bang for the buck, build out a bad offensive line. Time is running out. People talk about he's wide yet.
Then there's the one reason that hit me like a truck this morning when I saw the video. Have you seen his pecs?
Yeah.
Dude, they're like
yeah. Dude,
he is just
he looked like he was doing push-ups before he started walking.
Oh my gosh, he's just like
he's a big dude.
He is a monster.
So the pecs, that's what got you?
That's one reason.
Yeah.
That's reason number 6.
Yeah. And look, he may not be as explosive, but a dude.
Hey, and this is the guy. This is the hardo who tried to say he wouldn't let another dude rub his back yesterday.
Hey, I'm man enough to admit that the guy's got the list.
He like looking at the backs. He don't like rubbing them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he ain't say he's gonna rub his pecs.
Don't act like you didn't notice.
Not washed yet.
Yeah.
Telling you, weather weapon, weatherproof. You can take them on the road in December, January, whenever you're playing, as late as you're playing, and it's still going to work out. And you're playing defense, man. You don't want him on Baltimore. You don't want him on the Bills. You don't want him on the Miami Dolphins, who could really use some physicality, right, like that element to their game. You don't want him on Cincinnati or Cleveland. You want him in Houston, man.
What are you doing, man?
Dude, he's
Lopez is sitting there looking.
He had it bookmarked and everything.
I did not.
One hand on the mouse, one under the table. He's watching Derrick Henry's workout video.
I just said, have you seen his pecs?
I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah. Don't act like you didn't notice.